Hi everyone, welcome to the St. John Aquatic Center. I'm Andrea Brown.
And I'm Shelley Lawson. Today we're bringing you the St. John Fundy Diving Invitational.
This invitational is a trial for the Canada Games. Winners will accumulate points to determine members of the New Brunswick teams.
Today's events will include the men's open 1-meter boards and the women's open 3-meter boards. Your commentators will be Linda Black and Emma Start.
Here's Linda poolside with one of the coaches.
Good evening. We're here at the Canada Games Aquatic Center, and we have Steve Power from Fredericton, who is one of the judges here tonight. And I'd like Steve to also explain some of the other things that he's involved with diving.
Well, I guess right now my primary involvement is in judging. I'm judging at the National Championships this summer, and I will also be a New Brunswick judge at the Canada Games this summer in Kamloops.
That's excellent, Steve. And I think prior to this, you were involved with the last Canada Games team out in Saskatchewan, were you not?
Not really in any official capacity. I did coach many of the divers on the team, but I was also the coach of the Canada Games team in 1985 here in St. John.
I see. And can you, I know that this is a Canada Games qualifier here tonight, one of many. Can you just explain roughly in general terms who and what this is all about for the viewers?
The Canada Games selection process is a fairly complicated process, but what it really boils down to is the athletes have to be the top 3. There's going to be 3 men, 3 women, go. They have to make a minimum point standard on 2 out of the 3 events, that being platform, 1-meter and 3-meter springboards. And they have to do that at 2 different meets. So really what it comes down to is the top 3 divers who have met the minimum point standard will make the team.
I see, and I think there's a new little hitch this year with Canada Games, is there not, about something about B-level divers on 5-meter tower?
That's right. This year, for the first time, there's going to be a 4th member of the team being allowed to be added to the team. B-level being the age group, which is the 14 to 15 age group on the 5-meter platform. Because it's a 5-meter platform event, internationally and any larger meets, the only age group that really does 5-meter events are Group B, the 14-15 age group. So they've decided to put that event in as a special event this year. It's never been added at any Canada Games previous.
I see. So that would technically be a 4th member of the team only diving on the platform.
That's right. That's right.
And who are the judges that are going to be judging tonight? Do you know in this event, and how many?
Well, we have at any regional level meet or provincial level meet, we have 5 judges. Tonight we have. Because we don't have a lot of judges around here, we are using some of our coaches, but we have Jacques Leblanc, who is a senior national official from Halifax, Lana French, who is the head coach of the Fredericton Diving Club, Jim Rainey, who is the head coach of the St. John Fundy Diving Club, myself, and Robert Bro, who's from the Halifax Diving Club, Cygnus Diving Club.
I see, and you mentioned Alana. Now, she is the manager of the Canada Games team?
That's right, yeah. She's responsible for the administrative details and that type of thing. And she'll help out with the coaching as well.
Exactly, and Jim is the head coach of the Canada Games team.
That's right. That's right.
Well, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the whole process or how the kids come? Did we cover the age groups and so, the ages of the athletes attending?
Well, the Canada Games, of course, is considered to be a developmental level competition leading up to the international level. It is limited to divers who are 21 years and under. Most of the sports have a minimum or maximum age on it. So this competition is open to only 21 and under, which isn't a problem in New Brunswick because we don't have any divers over the age of 21 right now.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you, Linda.
Bye-bye. Say something. This is Derek Desaulniers, and he's diving on the 1-meter. We'll let you hear those scores. Yes, he just dove a front dive layout on the 1-meter board. Now this is Keith Connors from St. John. And what's he diving, Emma? Let's listen and see. We'll find out as he goes down the board.
That was a front double tuck.
And what did he get now?
Those are average scores.
Are they? That's pretty
Yes.
good. Now Keith is how old? Is Keith 15?
He's in grade 9.
Yeah, so he's 15, and he's a really up-and-coming diver. He's excellent. This is James Bartlett from Halifax.
That was a front 2.5 tuck. This is the women's open 3-meter event. This is Becky Rigby from the Cygnus team in Halifax.
Becky's a university student at Dalhousie University, and she's been a diver for quite a long time. That was an excellent dive, wasn't it?
Yeah,
She scored,
5.5.
you know, really pretty good scores all the way across, and that's a very big dive. That's a really good dive for Becky. She's a really solid, consistent diver. Now, who's this up?
This is Sarah Brown from the St. John Fundy team.
And Sarah's been diving for what, 3 years?
Yeah,
About that? Yes.
3 years.
And she just did an inward double tuck.
yeah.
Now, what would you think about that? Is that a pretty good?
The judges thought it was
yeah.
okay.
Oh,
She got
that's
4.5.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another difficult dive to do.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
She just learned that one this week, actually.
Did she? Oh, that's excellent. Now, who we got up next?
This is Julie Kelson. She's been diving really well this weekend.
Yeah, Julie has, you can see she had a little mishap this week and has her hand taped just a little bit, but really she informs us it isn't hurting her at all. So she's just carrying on, and she's just had a wonderful event on 1 meter and did well on, and that was a lovely inward double tuck, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good dive for her. She's been doing that really well all week.
6s and 5.5s. That's an excellent start for her round, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now this is Kim Presse.
Yeah, she's from Fredericton.
Yeah. And Kim used to dive a few years ago, and then I think has come back to diving just recently. I'm not sure, but I think she goes to UNB, but perhaps is in grade 12. I'm not sure at what level Kim is right now. I'll watch and see what she's about to do. I'm sorry we missed hearing what she was performing. We don't have a list of all the dives coming up for all the divers, so we'll just. That was a front 1.5.
Yeah.
In
Pike.
the pike position.
Yeah, her legs
Yeah.
were straight.
Yes. Yeah. And she landed in pretty good shape in the water, didn't she? It wasn't out too far. What are they going to score on that? Oh,
I think that was a failed dive.
that was a failed dive. She did the wrong dive. It was meant to be a twist,
Yeah, it
and
was.
she did a front 1.5. In that case, she gets absolutely no score whatsoever, does she?
No, she doesn't.
No. It has to be the exact dive called, or you lose.
Or you get zeros.
Exactly.
This is Amanda doing a front 2.5 tuck.
And Amanda's from the Cygnus diving team in Halifax. Amanda went to age group nationals last year in the B level, which is the 14 and 15-year-old age group, and she dove very well.
Oh, she went a bit over on that one.
Yes, nice height on it though,
Yes, it
wasn't
was.
Yeah. She had 4.5s on that.
That's still quite a good score.
This is Lindsay Black up, and she's from the St. John Fundy Diving Club. And she's been around for a while, like a lot of the other divers. And she's doing an inward 1.5. Is it a pike? I think so.
Yeah. That was a nice dive.
Was it? Oh yes, she got 6.5s and 6. 6s on that dive. Now, when they... Well, listen, this is Allison Bisson from...
From Fredericton.
From Fredericton.
She looks a bit confused about what she's supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Sometimes the divers forget the order that they put their dives in on, and they have to be kind of reminded now. If they aren't prepared for that dive, then it's just too bad for them. Or if they put down the wrong dive that they didn't mean to. Oh, that was a lovely dive.
That was nice.
What was that, a back 1.5 half?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, that's a twisting dive.
Yes.
She got 4.5s and 5s on that dive, and she hasn't been diving all that long, and she's really doing extremely well.
She is.
I think she has a gymnastics background, if I'm not mistaken, but she's 15?
I believe so.
Yes. Now we're back to Derek Desaunier from Fredericton, and he goes to UNB, I believe. And
This is the second round of the men's open 1 meter.
And Derek hasn't been diving all that long, I understand, and but he's done extremely well. Well,
That was a bit short.
Yes, he did a back 1 1/2 tuck. Was it tuck?
It was tough,
It
yes.
was a tuck, yes. He got 3.5. That indicated that it wasn't really. He
didn't
got
go
his
in.
head in, but
Yeah.
just barely,
Barely.
on that dive.
You're trying to go in as vertical as you can.
Yeah, and how far away from the end of the board should you be when you're diving? You know, what's your aim? Should you be, what, 1.5 to 2 feet?
Yeah.
I mean, 2 feet?
1.5 to 2.5 feet.
Yeah, exactly, out. So
You don't want to be too far away
and you
from
don't
the
want to
board.
be too short either.
And yeah, you certainly don't want to be too close to the board.
Oh, that was an excellent
That was a very nice dive for Keith.
Yeah, that was an inward double tuck.
It was an inward 1.5.
Oh, was it? Oh,
yeah.
gosh, there I'm worse on the eyesight.
Yeah.
He got 6.
That's usually a
6.5.
good dive
That was
for Keith.
excellent. Yeah. Yeah, he
This
really.
is James Bartlett from Cygnus in Halifax.
James has been going to age group nationals for the past, about 4 years and doing very well. He's just progressively gotten to be a stronger diver all the time.
Yeah. This is his last year in age groups, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
I see. He got 4s basically on that dive. It was a little short on
It
the
was.
entry, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The back 1 1/2 pike. And we have Becky Rigby again. Now she is a senior diver. Becky's 19. 19?
I think so,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. And as we said, she's a Dalhousie student and she's in second year science. And she's doing a back 2.5. She just got that in, but she's been really working on that back 2.5. She got 3.5s on that dive. And one brave judge gave her a 4.5.
Yeah.
But, and Sarah's going to do a front
2.5 tuck.
Yes. That's really getting up there in those
Yeah, it
dives.
is.
It gives you a nice, if you can ride the board well and get a good start. Oh, that was nice for Sarah.
It
Very
was.
good. She got 5s and 4.5s on that dive.
I don't think she got as much height as she would have liked,
And
though.
Julie is doing the same dive again.
Same dive?
As Sarah just competed. And Julie attended age group, actually the summer games in Halifax the last time they were on and did very well at those. Oh, that was
a very
just
nice dive.
excellent dive.
Yeah.
She got 6, 6.5. Julie's really hot tonight. She's looking very, very strong.
She's been doing well all weekend.
She has. Julie's been sick a lot this year, and that really has taken her out of the a lot of diving practice, etc. But then that happens to a lot of athletes, doesn't it? It's really,
yes.
This is Kim Pressay again, and she did an inward 1.5 pike.
She didn't quite get her legs above
No,
enough.
she had 4.5. She really was kind of piked when she was still going in
Yes,
the
she
water,
was.
unfortunately.
She didn't get enough time to straighten out.
Yeah. And I believe Amanda's going to do a back 1 1/2 layout, which is a really pretty dive. It's going to need to be, if done properly.
Yes, if done properly.
Exactly. And a lot of people are starting to do this dive. It wasn't that common a while ago, but
it's
it
getting
really,
quite popular.
Yeah, it is. I even see some of the boys trying it now. It
Yeah.
normally was just with
Keith
girls.
Connors just got it last week.
Exactly. Do you think he'll do it tonight?
I hope so.
Yeah, that's good. Good. Amanda has a bit of tendonitis in her wrist, so that's why she wears the tape. Just as a little safety precaution, give her that extra little bit of brace there. Oh, that was a very nice dive for Amanda.
Yeah. That was layout. She stayed straight the whole
Yes.
time.
She got 5s and 4.5, so obviously they picked up something they didn't like quite as well on that dive.
I think she went a bit over.
Yeah.
This is Lindsay Black from the St. John Fundy diving team.
Well, Lindsay's been to age group nationals for 5 times and has been competing. And that was a nice, that was a front 2.5 pike. she got sixes basically across the board. We should also tell everyone that when they score judging, they have 5 scores that they get from the judges, and
The highest and the lowest they take off.
yes.
So
And
you're
they-
left with
and
3
what-
scores?
3 scores, and they add those 3 scores
Yes.
together. Is that right?
Uh-huh.
And then they multiply that score by the degree of difficulty assigned to that particular dive, and that gives you the final score.
Mm-hmm.
And that was
And inward 1.5.
by Allison from Fredericton. Allison. She got 5s and 4.5s on that dive. Now, in the men's open 1 meter, the men have to do 11 dives, as they have to on
3 meter?
3 meter, but the women only have to compete
10 dives.
10 dives, yes. Whoa, that was not what we call a little short of vertical, I think. One
A
of the
little short. Almost horizontal.
Yes. But it's a good effort.
Yeah.
It really, these are not
That's a hard
easy.
dive for
These are not
beginners.
easy dives to be trying.
Oh.
So one, you know, it's very easy to sit and say, my goodness, why couldn't he do it? But it's a lot more difficult to
It
get
is.
up there. And the conditioning, diving takes an awful lot of conditioning, doesn't it, Emma?
Yeah.
You should know Emma. Emma is also a diver with the St. John team, and she's down on the mats working out with weights and so forth. Oh, that was a lovely dive from
That
James
was.
Bartlett, wasn't it?
That was
Oh,
Keith
that was
Connors.
Keith
Yeah.
Connors, my goodness.
That's a good dive for Keith.
5.5 and 6s. I think it's the dark hair. The 2 boys, when they stand, although their bathing suits are certainly very different. Oh, that was a lovely day. That was James Bartlett.
Those are good scores.
He got everything from an 8 to a 6.5, and the rest were 7, 7.5. That was a beautiful, beautiful dive.
Yeah.
Well, this is a twist dive I heard for Becky. I'm afraid I didn't catch exactly what it was that she was doing. Did you, Emma?
No, I didn't.
We'll have to find out as we watch and see what she does.
That was a back 1.5, 1.5 twist.
That. She 5.5, 6s were scores, and that was an excellent dive. That's a really difficult dive,
is.
and there's a high degree of difficulty on that, I think.
It had a 2.4 degree of
It's a
difficulty.
2.4. So when you get up in that 2.4, 2.5, it really does make a difference as to the points that you can accumulate on a dive.
Yeah.
This is Sarah Brown.
Sarah Brown.
Oh,
That's a back 1.5 hike. She was a little nervous about doing that dive.
Is that a fairly new dive for her, or just one that she gets a little bit more uptight?
She gets a little uptight doing that dive.
Yeah. Well, I think diving is a lot of controlling your nerves, huh?
It is. There's a lot of fear involved.
Yeah, exactly. It's overcoming. Really, it's personal, isn't it?
It is.
It's you against yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Julie Kelson. And I would say this is going to be a back dive. Back dive layout. Really nice.
Yes.
4, 4.5, 4.5, 3.5.
She got 4.5s on that.
Yes. And that was the net, but I thought it looked like a lovely dive.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
I think she was a little bit far away from the board though.
Yes, exactly, because really the purpose of that dive is to go out and up on a lovely arch, is it not? And,
Yeah.
you know, and get the height going up the board. In this open category, this is normally for kids 18, girls and boys 18 and over. But if you're younger, you can dive. Well, that was a nice dive by Kim Presse. Well, it was a reverse 1.5 pike. She had 4.5s on that dive. But anyone can dive up in this category as long as they have the number of dives.
Yes. And this is a Canada Games qualifying
Yes,
event. So
exactly. And the idea is that For the New Brunswick team, at least, it's the girls who come in the first 3 positions from New Brunswick that they'll accumulate some points toward their goal to Canada Games. Is that correct?
Yes.
I think I understand that.
And there's another qualifying meet in Halifax at the end of the month.
Yeah, is that the beginning of June, maybe?
Beginning of June,
Yeah,
yes.
unfortunately, it's just before
Right before
exams,
exams,
isn't it?
yes.
Yeah, over the weekend, the exams. And I think it's the same for Halifax. Their exams start that week as well, so the kids are going to have the turmoil of exams and studying, coupled with the tension of their final meet. So that's going to be very stressful on them, I should think. Racing from the pool home to somewhere to study. I think that's going to be very much. Now, what's Amanda attempting to do here?
That was an inward double.
An inward double tuck.
Yes. Last night she tried to do an inward 2.5.
Yes.
But she failed it, so I think she's gone back to doing an inward double.
And that's difficult when you have to go back and forth from a dive.
Yes, it is.
Lindsay's doing a back 1.5 somersault straight right now.
Lindsay's from the St. John Fundy diving team, so she trains here. How many times a week?
I think she trains here anywhere between 9 and 11 times a week. And she, like her teammate Julie, has been plagued with, she hasn't been ill, but she's been plagued with injuries this year. Oh, that was a lovely dive. Yes. Yeah, that was nice. She got 5s and 6s on that dive. Yeah, she's had shoulder injuries and tendonitis and a wrist injury, which has kept her out of the pool and out of practices quite a bit. So between she and Julie are the 2 senior divers of the St. John team, and they have been plagued with injury and illness this year, but sometimes you have years like that. Yeah. And that was Allison. And what did she do? Now, that's not a dive that
reverse semi-pike.
Yeah.
And she went into the water with her hands by her side.
And that's important, isn't it?
That's very important.
What you can only, what is it, score
4.5, I think,
less
if you've got your hands over your head.
That's right. And we're back to Derek here, Desaulnier from Fredericton. And let's see what he's about to try here. Oh, an inward dive layout. That's such a pretty dive, isn't it, when it's done properly? He got 5s. That's a very good score for that dive. But layout is definitely one of those positions that it either has to be done correctly or you see every fault in it. Sometimes with some of the others you can camouflage a little bit.
Yes,
and,
you can.
I think layout definitely you have to. And Keith he looks like he's coming up to a big dive here. Keith has learned so many new dives in such a rapid period of time. That was
a reverse 1.5 top.
And he did very well on that.
Yes, he did. He scored 5s and 5.5s.
Yeah, that's very good for Keith.
That is. Keith qualified for nationals on 1 meter 4 times already this year.
Oh my goodness, that was a beautiful dive by James.
Reverse 1.5 pike.
Yeah.
He went high up in the air.
Yeah, he really was graceful on that one, wasn't he?
And then went in, yeah.
Really tucks tight too, doesn't he? Oh yeah. Really grabs for his legs. Yes, he's done very well. Has he qualified on 3 meter yet?
Keith?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think so. I think he was only a few points away this morning though.
Oh, Becky, that was a
reverse 2.5 tuck.
Oh, that's excellent.
That's a very hard dive.
Yeah. Excellent. Let me see now. We've got Sarah coming up here, and I'm afraid through all the confusion around here, we missed what dive she's going to be doing.
She's doing a reverse 1.5 tuck.
Yeah. Excellent. Oh, that was very nice.
This is Sarah's home pool too. So that's
Yeah.
a bit of an advantage
Well,
diving
that's
where you're
right.
comfortable.
Exactly. And you know the boards. Now these boards are
Yeah.
called spring boards. Up there, but they're called cheese boards. There's two different kinds of diving boards, or probably more than that. But the cheese board has a bit more spring. Some people like
Yes,
it better
it has
for a
holes
ride.
in the end.
Yeah. And Julie Kelson is coming up now. Now Julie just qualified for age group nationals this morning on the 1 meter, so she'll be trying to qualify for 3 meter. Oh, that was a
nice
beautiful dive. Beautiful dive.
6, 6, 6.
Oh, she did a beautiful job. 6.5s on that dive. That was a reverse 1 1/2, then a tuck position, yes. Now, some of the other members of the team that from St. John that have already qualified in different age groups, it seems to me that it's Keith and there's a Carla Krettel from Hampton, and she has qualified on one board, has she not? Just on one board.
Yes.
And she keeps trying for the other one. I think it's, what is it?
She's qualified on 1 meter, and she's trying to qualify on either tower or 3 meter.
Right.
Because if you can qualify for 2 of the 3 boards, then you can automatically dive the 3rd.
Yes, exactly. And Lindsay Black's also qualified. She's qualified on 3 meter. Amanda Horton is up next. She's probably one of the taller female divers that we have on any of the teams. We have 3 teams here today.
The Cygnus from Halifax,
Yes.
and the Fredericton team, and then the St. John team.
She did a reverse 1 1/2 pike.
Tuck.
Oh, tuck, pardon me.
She went a little bit over.
4 1/2, 4 1/2. Lindsay doing a 303B, reverse 1 1/2 somersault pike, DD 2.3.
I think this is somewhat of a scary dive for Lindsay.
Yeah, she's been having trouble with this
Yeah.
one.
It's
She
a
always
reverse-
goes a little bit over.
Yeah, reverse 1 1/2 pike. So we'll have to watch and see what happens today.
Oh,
And
she went short today.
He went fairly short today.
3 1/2, 3 across.
She got 3 across. You don't want to do something like that because it blows your whole
Back 1 1/2 somersault.
ride, and all you need is one dive like that down, and you've got to make spectacular marks from there on in.
Yes.
Now we
This
have
is
Allison
Allison
up.
Bisson.
Yes, up again.
She's from Fredericton.
You don't know how long Allison has been diving, do you? Well, that's a lovely dive. Back 1 1/2 pike.
5, 4
She seems to have hurt her head.
5s and 4 1/2s. Sometimes if you don't get your hands securely enough over your head.
Yes, if your hands are just a tiny bit
yeah.
off, then
Exactly.
it can hurt the head a bit.
Oh, now his legs split on the entry, didn't they?
Yes, and he was quite a way away from the
Did he have a little twist
board.
on that dive too?
Yeah.
4, 4, 4.
Of course, it depends on which position you're sitting as a judge. Sometimes you'll catch different aspects of the dive. The further out you're sitting, away from the board, sometimes you catch a little more of a twist than you will when you're in a different judging position. So that's why there's that flexibility on the scoring. It really does help. Oh,
That's a new dive for Keith.
it's a twister.
That's a twister. Back semi half twist.
Judging boards, 2 1/2, 3, 3, 4, 2 1/2.
He got 2 1/2s
Yeah.
basically on that dive.
He's been working on that one.
Yeah. Okay, James has a DD 2.6 in this one. Oh, that was a beautiful. What was that? Front two double twister? Front 1 1/2, 1 1/2, maybe? And he got 4 1/2s on that. That was a lovely. I don't think anybody else has done that.
No.
thus far in this.
2.5 somersaults tuck, Dee 2.7.
And this is Becky, and she's going to do an inward 2.5 tuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
So really, she's got front, back.
Front 2.5, back
front-
2.5, reverse 2.5, inward 2.5.
She's got them all covered.
Yeah.
So of course, with something like that going for her, that gives her the advantage of she'll probably come in first place, because when you've got that kind of DD list going, whoa, but that was a little short going into the old water. Head first entry.
Her head was down when she went in the water. And she went in a bit of a ball.
2.5 and 3 basically on that dive.
Sarah Brown.
However, the DD is so nice and high on that
Forward dive, pike, half twist, Dee 1.9.
here, forward dive, half twist
Yes.
for Sarah Brown from St. John. And that's a very nice dive.
She went in vertical on that dive.
Yes,
4.5, 4.5, 5.5.
she got 5.5, 4.5. There was a mixed review on that dive.
Dee back 1.5 somersaults, half twist.
That's a hard dive to make look
Yeah.
good.
And I think this is a new dive for Julie, back 1.5 half. It's a twisting dive done in the back position. So we'll see how Julie makes out in this brand new dive. And she did well.
She did very well. She was telling me how
5.
easy that dive was to do.
5.5, 4.
She got 5s and 5.5s.
5B, front 2.5 somersaults tuck, Dee 2.4.
We've got Kim Presse up. Next. It's very quiet in here. Diving isn't like a lot of other sports, because you have to be very quiet while the
Yes, it takes a lot of
divers-
concentration.
Yes, exactly. Oh, front 2.5
nice.
pike.
5, 6, 5.5, 5.5.
She was still a little bit piked when she entered the water,
Yeah,
though.
exactly, and a bit far out as well,
Yeah.
I think.
Front 1.5 somersaults, 1 twist, Dee 2.2.
Yeah, but as you were saying before, the concentration it takes to dive, you don't have any music on, everything's very quiet, there's no yelling, no screaming, no cameras with flashes allowed to enter into the whole thing,
Yeah.
which really keeps, you just sometimes hear the lapping of the water in the background.
Yes.
And
When we train here during the week, the synchronized swimmers often have their music on quite loud, and it can be very hard to concentrate.
well, I think that's the problem when you've got it in a pool. Everybody has to have
Yeah.
their sport, don't they? And for
You have to
synchro,
share.
oh, that was a nice front 1.5 half for Amanda. Am I correct in the dive that was?
I think it was a full twist, actually.
Full twisting 1.5?
Yep.
Oh,
2 marks will be deducted from each score. 4, 3.5, 3.5, 3, 3.
well,
2 points have been deducted from that dive, from the scores the judges gave. But I'm not sure why.
Doing a 5,
That's the
3, 1,
chief register.
back 1.5 somersaults, half twist, Dee 2.0.
The referee, Jacques Leblanc, he calls the dives, and it's up to him, and no one questions his authority
Judgment.
in his judgment. The other judges have to agree. Well, Lindsay's doing a back 1.5 half twisting dive. A little short on the
entry.
entry.
She got quite high on that dive, and she stayed quite close to the board.
4.5.
But she just got 4.5s on that. Now Julie did much better on that dive. I think she scored higher scores on that than and we have Allison up again. doing a front 1.5
pike.
pike.
That was a nice tight pike.
It was, wasn't it?
Yes.
Actually, she's a very nice diver to watch.
5. Derek, starting our final round of dives for the men.
Yeah, we have Derek.
403C, inward 1 1/2 somersaults tuck, DD 2.2.
Do you know which round of dives this is? I missed that.
They said it was the final round for the men.
For the men, yes, exactly.
When the women dive open on 1 meter, they
They
only
dive.
have to do 5 dives.
Right, and it must be the same.
Must be the
men
same for the
men
men.
have to do 6 dives, I believe.
6?
Yeah,
But on 3 meter, it's 10 dives
for the females.
for the females, yes, and 11 for the males.
Yeah, he got 3s and 2.5s on that.
For 2 1/2 somersaults tuck, DD 2.4.
This is Keith Connors.
Keith just did a front 2.5.
Front 2.5.
That's a new dive for him, but he got it in.
He got it in. He went a bit short, but
Yeah,
4 3 1/2.
he got 4s
think
and
he's happy.
3.5s.
Doing a 104B, forward double somersaults pike, DD 2.3.
Okay, now James is coming up with another.
that was a front double
that
pike.
was lovely, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
And he got 6s and 6.5s.
Oh, consistent judging. 6 and 6.5s.
Yeah.
Forward 1 1/2
Yeah.
somersaults pike, DD 1.6.
So the men's open 1 meter is all over now.
Oh, beautiful
very
dive
nice.
for Becky. Front.
She stayed close. She went
Oh,
up in the
yes.
air. She was very tight. And then she went in vertical.
Sarah, doing a 403B, inward 1 1/2 somersaults pike, DD 2.1.
What is this that Sarah's doing now?
I'm not sure.
An inward?
Inward 1.5 pike.
Does she not do it double, or this is her second round of dives, so she's done her double already?
Yes. That was her compulsory.
Yes, exactly. And these are her options.
Nope, these are her compulsories.
Compulsories, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Those,
She did the inward double for her
yes,
option.
got 6s on that dive, and that was
Doing
excellent.
a 403B, inward 1 1/2 somersaults pike, DD 2.1.
This is Julie coming up for. And what is this one for Julie? She's doing?
I'm not sure. We'll have to find out.
Yeah. It's definitely an inward. It's a double or a 2.5. I think it's a
Inward 1.5
pike.
That was the same dive that Sarah just
Yes.
did.
6 and 1/2, 5 and 1/2, 6, 6, 5 and 1/2.
So 6, 5.5.
Doing a
Yeah.
103B, front 1 1/2 somersaults pike, DD 1.6.
Here we have Crim Presse up again. And she did a front 1.5 pike as well.
5, 5 and 1/2, 6, 5 and 1/2. Amanda Horton, doing a 103C, forward 1 1/2 somersaults tuck, DD 1.5.
Amanda's doing
Front 1.5 tuck.
tuck. I thought maybe I hadn't heard that correctly.
Yeah, this is her compulsory dive.
Mhm.
She was having a bit of trouble with this in the warm-up.
Was she? Oh.
Yes. It can be a hard dive to control when you're that high
Exactly.
up.
Now she'd probably be one of the kids from, Amanda being from Halifax, will probably be one of the hopefuls for their Canada Games team, I should think,
Yeah.
along with Becky Rigby and James Bartlett. And she went a little long on that one, did she not?
Yes.
4 1/2, 4
Yes,
1/2,
and she got 4.5s on that.
5.
4s and 5s.
Lindsay, Doing a 401B inward dive pike, DD 1.4.
My goodness, sometimes it seems endless when they're... Well, that's quite a nice dive.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
5.5.
That was an inward dive pike.
5.5. 5.5. Allison's doing a 101B forward dive pike, DD 1.5.
This is going to be a front dive pike.
Okay. And a lot of these dives are done to show control, aren't they? Just
Yes.
so, although it's a simple dive, it's showing that you can do carry through on control.
Yes.
That was very nice. She
It
slipped
was.
into the water, didn't she?
Yeah.
She got 5s, 5.5s. So, you know, she did really nicely.
Doing a 201B back dive pike, DD 1.8.
And now we're into our 7th round of dives. Becky being the one leading off the female divers. And she's doing a back dive pike, am I correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And that was
very
lovely.
nice.
That was really nice. 6.5s and 7s.
7. Sarah, doing a 103B for 1.5 somersaults pike, DD 1.6.
Sarah's doing a 1.5 pike.
That was very nice as well. Yeah.
6, 6.
And they thought so as well. 6.
6. Julie,
You'll notice that most of the scores seem to be in the 5.5, 6.5 range,
Yes.
unless it really looks, and then of course down from 4.5 means that you've just made
Missed
the
it.
dive, and that was a nice dive for Julie.
That was open pike.
That was an open pike.
She had her arms at her sides instead of grabbing her pike.
6, 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5 and 6s.
Doing a 201B back dive pike, DD 1.8.
This is a back dive pike.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing this, it's important to get your hands over your head to make sure you go up in the air.
I see. I think spotting is another thing that one has to do in diving. Is that correct? Knowing where
Yes.
your marks are and looking back toward the water?
Yeah, it helps you keep control of
Yes.
the dive
5.5.
because you know where you are more.
5.5. 5.5.
Yeah.
Amanda.
Okay, we're waiting on Amanda now.
Back dive pike, DD 1.8.
Each of the dives are given a code. Front is a 1-0 something or other. A back is a 2.
A 2, a reverse is a 3, and an inward is a 4.
And a twister starts with a 5.
Starts with a 5.
Yes, exactly. So when they say, you know, a back 1.5, that would be a 203.
Yes.
And
The 3 stands for the number of half rotations.
Exactly. So, and A, B, and C stand for the position. A
Is
being
layout.
in layout or straight.
Yes.
B being
Pike.
pike, and C being
Tuck.
Now, is there a point at which standing on the edge of the board is too long? That was a very nice dive.
5.5. 6. 5.5.
I don't think there are any rules saying how long you can stand on the board, but the longer you wait, a lot of the times you can get more scared of the dive.
Yes.
So you don't want to rush off the board,
No.
but you don't want to wait too long either.
Sometimes you can psych yourself out by
Yes.
standing there too long. And the judge usually blows the whistle when he's ready. And
Yes.
It's already been blown, so that's...
It lets
this is
the
a
diver know that she
front
can go
1
now.
1/2. And she went a little over on that one.
Yes.
6. 6. 5.5. 5.5. 5.
So she gets 5s, 5.5, 6s on it.
201B back dive pike,
to Allison again.
Yes.
Judges award.
That was a back dive pike, 5.5s.
And Peter, what was that? 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 6.
Now we're starting off the,
Eighth round dive.
8th round.
Doing a 401 feet, inward dive pike.
so that means 3 more dives for each girl,
For each girl.
8, 9, and 10. And at the same time, while we're watching this, there's a score table across, and it's usually called a double-ended score table, and it's manned by 6 people and a shadow. The shadow tries to keep the scores as well, and that was a beautiful dive by Becky. 6.5s on that inward dive pike.
Yes.
We have Sarah Brown up next.
Doing a 201 feet, back dive pike, DD 1.8.
And this is a back dive pike for Sarah. That was very nice.
Yes.
5.5, 5.5.
5.5s.
5, 5.
Yeah, so it's really quite consistent judging here, I find. There's no great discrepancies on what they're seeing, and they seem to be a meeting of the minds as to how they're perceiving and what they're expecting to see from these divers. Now we have Julie back on the boards. Doing a back dive pike, which was lovely.
That was nice.
Yeah.
She went high in the air.
Yes.
And then she piked.
And that was
top.
very good. 6 across. She also went to age group nationals last year in the 14, 15-year-old category and dove both on the 1 and the 3 meter board. As well as we had a young diver on our team, or still have, and Claire Welland is her name, and she was dove in the D level, along with Kara Ramsey, who was our announcer this morning, and Lindsay Black. So they, along with a number of other people, hope to be going back out. And I think age group nationals this year are in Edmonton, Alberta, I believe. So that should be an exciting time.
Where are the Canada Games this year?
Canada Games are in Kamloops, BC. And they're going to be, the swimmers take up the pool for the first week, and I believe that starts on the maybe the 7th and go to the 14th or 15th, and then the swimmers then come back. So they're at the beginning of the games, and the divers will be there to be at the closing ceremonies. So they'll be diving, I think, the week of the 15th, 16th to the 21st of August. I believe that's roughly the dates that they'll be out there. Whoa, and that was long for Amanda on her inward 1 1/2.
She's used to doing inward doubles and inward 2.5s.
3, 1/2.
So that's
So
really
she went a bit long on that dive.
Yeah.
201 feet, back dive pike, DD 1.8.
This is Lindsay Black from the St. John diving team.
And she's going to be doing a back dive pike. This isn't usually one of her favorite dives. We haven't seen a reverse dive pike from her, which is usually one of her better ones. So. Oh, that was a beautiful dive for Lindsay.
6 1/2, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, 6, 6.
She got 6.5s and 6s on that.
Doing a 301
Still seems to be favoring that wrist of hers when she gets out of the water. I
Yes.
notice she doesn't lift out with her right wrist at all. She injured it when she was out in Calgary at the Senior Winter Nationals.
Judges award.
Now, what did you think of that dive of
That was quite a good dive for
Was
her.
it? Yeah, she's doing very well. In fact, all the girls, really. It's been a very consistent meet.
Yes.
Becky is doing a reverse dive pike. Very
That
nice.
was nice.
Yeah.
Most of the divers are doing their compulsory dives in the pike position.
Yes.
Because it's got a higher difficulty degree level than the tuck dives.
Yes, exactly. Especially on 3 meter, that's
Yes.
basically what you want to go for. Yeah, she got six and a halves on that dive, so that's really very good. And of course, the judging is much harder when they're doing it. And that's a nice one for Sarah as
That was very
well.
nice.
Yes.
Sarah's entries are always quite good.
Yes, well, she's so slim. She just
is.
slides
Like right
into
in
the
the
water,
water.
doesn't she? Yes.
Yeah.
Very pretty diver. Now here we have Julie up again. And I'm afraid I don't know what dive Julie's doing right now. Do you?
I think she's doing reverse dive pike. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was a nice dive as well.
It was.
6, 6, 5 and 1/2, 5 and 1/2, 6.
5 and a half and 6s she got on that one.
Those are pretty popular scores.
Yeah.
81.4.
We have Kim Presse up again. And actually at the culmination of this meet, the winners of the Calder Cup will be announced. And this was established by Lorna Calder, who was the head coach of the St. John Fundy Diving Club, in memory of her father, who was a great supporter of diving. And Lorna has gone on to attend Yale University, and she was the first female president of the forestry engineers here in New Brunswick. And she was a great inspiration for the club, but it's comprised of the male and female who score over their national, the greatest percentage over their national score, depending on which age group they happen to be diving in. And repeatedly over the last few years, it usually is seems to be a male from the open category and a female from the C group category. That was a lovely high dive for Amanda, but she was out a bit far on that one.
And she went a bit long.
Yeah.
Lindsay Black, doing a 301B, reverse dive pike, DD 1.9.
And here we have the same dive being done again by Lindsay Black.
This is usually a good dive for Lindsay.
Yes.
She went nice and high on that
Yeah, it
dive.
was a nice high dive for Lindsay, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
5 and 1/2, 6, 5 and 1/2.
But obviously the judges saw something that we didn't. I think 5 and a half, 6s weren't certainly the highest scores that other people got on that. I don't think this is Lindsay's meet.
No.
No.
She doesn't seem too happy with the scores either.
No. I don't think she's that pleased with her diving this weekend, but then everybody has their ups and downs.
That's right.
Some people are on and some people are off, and that's the way the diving world goes. Any sports like that.
Yeah. Everyone
Yeah.
has their days.
Exactly. That was a nice inward dive
It
hike
was.
for Allison.
5 and 1/2, 5 and 1/2,
Yes.
5, 5.
So I think they're starting the final round now.
Final round of dives.
Yes.
Yep.
To the 5, 2, 3, 1 D, back 1 and 1/2 somersaults, half twist, DD 2.0.
Well, that was a nice dive by Becky.
Back 1.5, half twist.
6, 5 and 1/2, 5 and 1/2, 6, 5 and 1/2.
6s and 5 and a halves. That's really, really.
That is very good.
11B, inward dive, pike, half twist, DD 1.6.
This is an inward dive, half twist. This can be a hard dive to make look good.
Yes, exactly.
But Sarah made it look good.
She did, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
I was waiting for her to make that twist.
5,
5.5, 6s. That's really good, consistent scoring for Sarah. She's really been very consistent all the way along.
She has averaging around 5.5.
That's
quite good.
Yes, it is. Well, I think in a lot of instances what you're looking for is consistency. Each diver has their own goals in mind, and diving is something that you do against yourself to better what you did the last time.
Yes, divers are always trying to beat their personal best.
Julie, that was an inward dive.
Inward dive,
twist as
half
well.
twist. Yeah. And she got the same scores as Sarah.
Exactly.
Kim, doing a 5-2-3-1D, back 1 1/2 somersaults, half twist, DD 2.0.
That was a nice dive by Kim. That was a back 1 1/2 half.
Yes.
6, 5 1/2, 5, 5, 5.
5s and 6s on that dive.
5-2-3-1D, back 1 1/2 somersault, half twist, DD.
Amanda's doing the same dive.
Yes, same dive. All the girls seem to have learned this dive.
Yeah.
Twisting is one of those things that is very difficult to learn, I think.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I think it depends on the person too, though.
exactly. Some people just learn it instinctively, and
others have trouble.
Yeah. I think if you have a hard time with the concept, it's just something that
Twists can feel out of control sometimes.
hard to know what you're doing and where you
Yeah.
are. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's certainly something, going right and turning left and circling all at the same time. Whoa, no, I don't know about that dive. I think they're going to score on it, but
2 1/2, 2,
2 and 2.5.
3, 1 1/2.
her legs were apart, and she really almost over twisted on that.
Yeah.
Front dive, straight half twist, DD 2.0.
And this is Lindsay Black's last dive, and it's a twist just like everyone else's. Oh, that was a
Front
beautiful
dive, layout,
dive.
half
Front
twist.
dive, layout, half twist.
4 1/2, 5 1/2, 5, 5, 4 1/2.
5s, 4.5s.
Doing a 5-1-3-2D, forward 1 1/2 somersault, 1 twist, DD 2.1.
This is the last dive of the event.
Oh, I think
didn't
that's what you
quite
call
make it.
suing it into the water.
Yeah.
But their big cheer goes up. That's one thing that's nice about diving. No
Yes.
matter if you, people appreciate the effort and the heart that goes in.
Yes.
And somehow when people are cheering you, it helps that pain.
It does.
It really does. Exactly. Well, I think that they've done a really remarkably good job, all these young athletes.
Yes, they were all doing
And
very
the
well.
time and effort and energy that's put into any sport. But I know for diving, being the mother of a diver, it really takes a lot of heart and a lot of energy. And
It does.
when you're on top, it's great. When you're struggling, it
can be
takes
hard.
Yes, exactly. How do you feel about this sort of thing, being a diver yourself, Emma?
It can be hard at times, but I think it's worth it. 'Cause
Is it?
Diving is a lot of fun.
Oh, that's good. How do you find that this all impacts with your schoolwork and that sort of thing? Do you find that you have a difficult time?
No, I find it really relaxing,
Do you?
actually. It's
Oh,
a nice
that's-
break.
That's good. So you usually come right from school and go to practice and
Yes.
then go home and hit the books, do you?
That's right.
Oh, that's excellent.
Men's Open 1 meter saw James Bartlett from the Sigmas team take first place, while Keith Connors came in second from the Fundy team. Third place went to Derek Desaugnier from Fredericton.
Winners in the women's open 3 meter were Julie Kelson in first place from Fundy, Becky Rigby from Cygnus in second, and Lindsay Black from Fundy in third.
That wraps up the St. John Fundy Diving Invitational for another year.
If you're interested in diving, you can contact the Fundy Dive Club at the Canada Games Aquatic Center. I'm Shelley Lawson.
And I'm Andrew Brown. Thanks for watching.